Hello everybody, welcome to the table. Today we are looking at the Beagle, which is a knife sold by Olight under their Oknife branding. I picked mine up direct from Olight's website as they wrapped up their last big holiday sale. Most of Olight's knife brand is produced in China by Kaisa Knives. However, they use the Oknife branding on it, so it's not always super transparent as to where the knives originate from. So choosing Kizer as their OEM has been a great choice for Olight, as it's really allowed them to make quality knives at a mid-range price that its flashlight fans can still afford. So now the price you should be paying for the Beagle should be at or around the $60 mark. And so that might mean you need to wait for one of their next big site-wide sales. They run about once a month or so. You know, they have two colorations of this knife. The original release was all blacked out with black G10 and a black coated blade. The first variant they released didn't really pique my interest, but once Olight released this variant with olive green micarta, I made a complete 180 and suddenly decided that I wanted one. And so taking a closer look at the Beagle, let's check out the action. This knife is a thumb stud opener and it has dual black thumb studs. The pivot runs on bearings, so once you break past the detent with the thumb studs, the blade really flies open and into place. I noticed that even right out of the box, the action was smooth, so the knife had a drop shut action without any real break-in period. I expect that it's going to get even smoother as time rolls on and you carry or use the knife. The blade we have here is a 154 cm steel, and it has this nice satin finish. So one of the neat design characteristics that make the Beagle stand out is the harpoon-shaped blade we get here. So the big swedge on the top does add some visual flair, and I personally like how it looks. And while we're looking at the top of the blade, we do have some jimping on the spine. And the jimping here is not super sharp or grabby, but it's better than none at all. I personally would have liked to see the jimping continue onto the back of the liners. I think that would really improve the grip on this knife. So taking a look at the blade, let's look at the show side first. We have the Oknife logo here. And we also have the smaller marking for the 154 cm steel. Taking a look at the reverse side of the blade, we have three different markings here. So first off, we have the name of the knife, the Beagle, most prominent. And we also have a serial number marked under the thumb studs. And most interesting to me, we also have the name of the designer of this knife. So this knife was designed by Azo. And as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but Azo is one of the in-house knife designers for Kaisa Knives. We will check out some other Azo's designs in just a minute, but first let's check out the centering here on the Beagle. So centering looks pretty much perfect to me. This is a liner lock, so it has steel liners with the black coated finish. And as you can see here, the lockup is perfect. So there's absolutely no wiggle, no play in the blade when it's opened. It just is a very solid, very well made feeling knife here. And while the knife is open, let's take a look inside the liners, and we can see the liners here are indeed skeletonized for some weight reduction. So while the amount of weight that is lost by doing this is probably pretty minimal, it is most definitely a sign of quality manufacturing that a company even cares to take this step in the first place. And while we are talking about weight, Olight advertises the Beagle at 3.41 ounces. And on my scale, personally, it actually came in a little underweight at 3.34 ounces. So that is great for a knife here that has an overall length of 7.6 inches and a blade length of 3.3 inches. So taking a closer look at the handle, we will see this very nicely done green micarta. So I really love what they did with this knife because the blacked out hardware, the blacked out liners really make the OD green micarta just pop. It's a nice color contrast and it makes the knife look both classy and rugged at the same time. So the micarta itself here is fairly smooth. It's not like a polished smooth, but there's still some grippiness here on the handle. And for a first, okay, so this is a first for Oknife branded knives. We have a knife with a reversible pocket clip, so that's great. So we have tip-up carry, and it is a deep carry pocket clip, and it can be reversed for either right or left-hand side carry. So bravo, Olight, bravo, clap, clap, clap. You know, I appreciate that. And either way, you know, it does carry nice and deep if that's your thing. So very nicely done pocket clip here. Lastly, though, I almost forgot to mention it, almost hidden under the pocket clip here is the lanyard hole. So those of you who carry lanyards and are into that kind of thing, you are accommodated with this knife. And of course, like all O knives, the packaging is excellent in terms of presentation. So it's great for gifting, or if you just like to save the boxes for collecting purposes. I think Olight is one of the best in the business in this regard. And I like all my other O knives, it comes with the black nylon pouch we have here, as well as the challenge coin. So the challenge coin is a nice little touch, and it's little things like this that are without a doubt selling these knives for Olight all day long. It would not surprise me if other companies start including stuff like this in order to compete. You know, and as of filming this video, it looks like the green micarta coloration of this knife that I have here is out of stock, unfortunately. But the black on black model is still available. Olight tends to stock their products kind of in waves, so every time they have a new sale on their site, stuff gets restocked, and often this is when new color variations tend to appear. So it would not surprise me at all to see the Beagle come back with different colors of micarta or G10. Just keep an eye out on their site. It's going to happen. Now, before we go, rather than compare the Beagle here to some other standard O knives like I did in my video on the Parent recently, I think we should check out some of the other Azo design knives Kizer has made. So let me know if you see any family resemblance. So first off, we're going to check out the Kizer Domin. This is one of the first Kizer knives I ever purchased, and it's still a popular and readily available model today. So even today, it's made in more colorations than ever before, and there's even a mini version of it. So the one we have here has this nice VG10 blade, green G10 scales, and overall, it's a very smooth, it's an impressive budget knife. A second Azo design I also own. This is the Kizer Beglighter 2. Really nice red micarta scales on this one. I think this was an exclusive to Mojave Outdoors. So this one comes in N690 steel. And we can see on the blade that Azo started using a logo on his Kizer designs at some point after the Domin. So we don't see this logo on the Beagle, but I imagine that's because it's probably not a Kizer branded knife. So, and just looking around while I was filming this video, I realized that I owned yet another Azo design, and this is the Kizer Infinity. Beautiful design, and just like the Beglighter, we can see the Azo logo markings all over the blade. So very nice black micarta, black coated blade. Again, this one's an N690. So a lot of in-house designers at various knife companies, especially at the Chinese companies, they tend to fly under the radar and they don't get quite the same recognition that Western knife designers do. But as you can see here, if you do your research, you can make excellent designs, and with a great factory behind you like the one at Kizer, these are the results. So pretty impressive all the way around. So let me know in the comments what you think about the Beagle or any of my Kizerish ramblings I have here. I look forward to seeing what you all think. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye-bye.